Hi, I'm Pam Fox. Thank you for watching my channel. So, the title of this video, why would anyone care what I think about the documentary Earthlings? And this isn't necessarily a review of the documentary Earthlings, and it's not even really about what I think. It's more about why I came to watch it and my reaction to it, and some other musings regarding that. So I subscribe to a new YouTube channel called The Chocolate Vegan, and you should check him out. He's delightful. He's just a very sweet, compassionate, caring man. In this first video I saw, he was introducing his family, and he was so excited to see his family and introduce his family and be with his family. And he's a very loving man, and the type of person you just want to know and want to be a friend with. And so when I went to watch another video of his, I found he had uploaded a video that was his reaction to the documentary Earthlings. And so I've heard of this documentary. I even tell my viewers, I encourage them to watch it. I have in the past, even though I admit that I have never watched it. I've seen several excerpts from the documentary, but I've never actually taken the time to sit down and watch it. But the Chocolate Vegan had watched it, and he did a reaction video to it, and he was really tore up from watching this video, which is, I would say, a very common reaction to this documentary. But he was also very angry, and he was encouraging his viewers to watch this documentary. And so I made a decision to watch Earthlings, and I also made a decision that I was going to watch it with my eyes open and I wasn't going to look away, and that's what I did. And it was tough. It was a tough movie to watch. Obviously, it's filled with very disturbing content. It's a lot of visual images, and I would imagine that the people that shoot these videos go undercover in these factory farms, slaughterhouses, in order to get this footage, because cameras aren't allowed in factory farms. They're not allowed to come in and film what's happening in there. And so I give kudos to these activists who do go undercover, put themselves in this position in order to get this footage. And movies like this aren't a new thing. I've seen, other similar documentaries. This one by far has the most amount of just raw, harsh footage of behind the scenes, what's happening to animals, not only in factory farms, but in research, scientific research, animal testing, and it goes on and on. But they're not a new thing. The information is out there. It's available for us to watch and to learn and to understand and to hopefully become more compassionate, and for our hearts to open up and to see the truth of what's happening, how animals are being treated for our selfish pleasure, for gain, for financial gain, and for us to be able to eat the foods that give us pleasure. The problem is people don't want to watch a documentary like this, and I get that. Like I said, I've known about this movie for a couple of years, and I've had no desire to watch it. In fact, my justification was, hey, I'm vegan. I converted. I don't need to watch it. And I had no desire to watch it because I knew that those images would be burned into my memory, into my heart forever. And so I didn't want to put myself in that position. But I made the decision to watch it, and I did watch it, and it's shocking. It's shocking. I thought I had a pretty good idea, just because I am a vegan and I've been following other vegan YouTubers for about a year and a half. I've seen some excerpts. I've heard activism. I've heard the activists, talk about some of the things that happen. But to watch, to have it in your face and to see these animals and the crappy lives that they live every moment of their life, in pain and in suffering and in captivation and not having their basic needs met. It's shocking, and it's very disappointing. It's very disappointing, in humanity, really, that we succumb to this level of behavior. And so I'm just here today to do, I'm just making this video because Chocolate Vegan made one and it encouraged me to watch it, and it's been an eye-opener for me, and it's helped deepen my compassion for others, really. And so I thought I would do a similar video, and hopefully maybe my video could touch someone else and help them to have the courage to watch. And see, and that's the thing about a documentary like this. If you're enticed by the idea of becoming vegan, maybe you're sick or you're tired, maybe you've been looking for answers your whole life on how to lose weight and how to be fit and how to be healthy and have energy and just feel good, feel normal. And you've maybe heard from time to time people say they went on a plant-based diet and they got all of that. That's what happened to me. That's what happened to so many other people I know that have gone down the same journey that I have. So if you've heard that and you've just been, momentarily enticed, I know a lot of times when we hear the word vegan or we hear people on a plant-based diet, we automatically think that they're extreme, that they're fanatics. And if you stop and think about that, that's really silly. It's really pretty silly to call a vegan an extremist or a fanatic, because all we're doing is eating plants. We're eating fruits and vegetables and grains and nuts and beans. That's not extreme. That's just eating the foods that come up out of the ground and fall from the trees. That's not, I mean, really what's extreme is taking a group of animals and torturing them their entire life, exploiting them, slaughtering them, butchering them, cutting them up into parts so you can put their flesh, wrap it up and place it on a shelf in a store somewhere so that a person can come in and then exchange, put money down on the counter in exchange for these products. So what? So that you can take them home and marinate them and herb them and cook them just so that they're edible and safe. That's a little extreme. That sounds a little extreme to me. How about someone who has to go by ambulance to the hospital and have their sternum cut open with a saw and cracked open so that they can have a bypass surgery to save their life for $50,000, $75,000, $100,000? That's a little extreme. That sounds a little extreme. But people say I'm extreme because I eat plants. But that's okay. They can call me extreme. But if you are enticed, if you're enticed by the idea of becoming vegan, this is a great first step. Watching a documentary like this will really motivate you in that direction, because it's gonna, once you sit down and watch a film like this, when you're done, you're going to have to make a choice. You're going to have to either continue going down the path that you've been on your whole life, or you have believed the myth that has been taught to you by your parents who you trust, that was taught to them by your teachers and so forth, by doctors, that we need a lot of protein and that eating animal foods is good and normal and acceptable. That's a myth. We don't need all that protein. All the protein we need is found in plants. And so yeah, if you're enticed and you want to try this, watch this documentary, and it will help you to make that choice to get off of that path and get onto a path that will change your life. Becoming vegan, honest to goodness, best thing I've ever done, especially for my health. Besides getting my life straight with God, I mean, becoming vegan was the best thing, life-changing, legendary thing I've ever done. Not only has it straightened out my health and got me back on track so that I'm feeling young and energetic and healthy and strong, and I'm fit, I'm able to exercise. I no longer have the symptoms that were plaguing me, the fatigue. I no longer take any medications. So my health is really where I want it to be. I feel great. My mental state is the best it's ever been. Diet-related illnesses, I don't know why, but we've just become so complacent with our poor health. Diet-related illnesses are everywhere. Just take a look around you. Think about the people in your life that you know. Are they tired? Are they sick? Do they have symptoms? Do they have conditions? Do they have ailments? Do they have diseases? Do they have heart disease, diabetes? Do they have high blood pressure? Do they have high cholesterol? Do they have arthritis? Are they tired? Do they feel well all the time? Are they lean? Are they strong? Or are they tired and sick? I know that many of the people in my life are tired and they're sick, just like I was. And so if you're enticed to try this, watch this documentary. It will give you motivation. It will give you the motivation. And you know what? Think about trying a vegan diet for 30 days. You can do anything for 30 days. You can try it for 30 days. And just make sure you're doing it right. Make sure you're doing it properly, which means you're eating a lot of food. Because when you meet your nutrient needs on a plant-based diet, you won't have any cravings for anything, especially not meat. If you're eating plenty of fruit, you won't have cravings for sweets or junk foods. If you're eating plenty of starches and grains, you're going to be satiated and full. You're not going to crave meat, dairy, or cheese. It is hard in those first couple of months because you're resetting your palate, and the foods can taste quite bland if you're no longer, eating greasy, salty, sugary, processed foods. But in time, your palate resets. It happened to me. It happens to every vegan I've ever spoken to. And then your foods, your plant foods, begin to taste so delicious that you enjoy eating more as a plant-based vegan than you ever did as a meat eater. It's strange and it's hard to explain. And sometimes there's even a pleasant euphoria that comes along with eating plants. But you kind of have to experience it to understand. Anyway. It's great. I love being vegan. I'm excited about it every day. It's really just changed my life in all kinds of ways that I never even imagined, besides just my physical fitness and my health. I'm more passionate about things. I've never been very passionate about anything, really. I've never been extremely passionate about anything, and I never would imagine I would become passionate about the well-being of animals, because I was raised on a farm and I was told that livestock animals, their purpose in life was to feed us, and I believed that my whole life. And so had I watched this documentary a year ago, it probably wouldn't have been as impactful to me, because I was still in that state of desensitization where I could think about a chicken, suffering, and it wouldn't really bother me. Whereas when I would have thought of a dog suffering, there I would have felt compassion, which a lot of people fall into that category, where they do have great compassion and sympathy for dogs, for horses, for cats, for wild endangered species, but not for the chicken, not for the cow, not for the pig, and so forth. And like I said before, there's really just been a brainwashing that has taken place that's made us believe that it's acceptable, that it's good, that it's necessary. Animal foods aren't necessary. We get everything we need from plants. You need protein, you need fat, you need carbohydrate, fiber, water, vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, enzymes. It's all in the plants. You can't say that about animal foods, but it's all in the plants. Everything we need is in the plants. And so once you begin eliminating the foods that are making us sick, and that's the thing too, we're raised to believe that not only do we need these animal foods and that they're good for us, one, we don't need them, they're unnecessary, so we are exploiting and harming and torturing animals unnecessarily. It's for our pleasure, it's for money, it's for someone's profit, but it's not necessary for our nutrition. And not only that, but those foods are harmful to our health. Again, think about all the leading chronic diseases in this country. They are all diet related. Take away the foods that are causing the diet related illness, you take away the diet related illness. Heart disease, almost completely 100% reversible on a plant-based diet. If you don't believe me, check out Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn's Reversing Heart Disease. He's not a naturopath or a quack or an alternative doctor. He's a regular doctor and a surgeon, and he reverses his patients' heart disease on a plant-based diet. So there you have it. I hope you'll watch this documentary, and I hope that you will allow it to soften your heart, and you'll allow the compassion in your heart for these animals to grow so that you can make a choice and take action. Thanks for watching.